says, though thou exalt thyself like as an eagle, right? Who exalted themselves as an eagle? It was the Romans, right? The Romans coming back today again, back in power, is just the so-called white people. That's right, it's the same man, right? And that doesn't mean to say the so-called white man by color. We're talking about the descendants of Edom, right? The spiritual brother to Jacob, right? Or rather more the brother in the flesh, because when Rebecca was basically given seed and she conceived, right, like back in Genesis the 25th chapter, right, the Most High told her that there's two nations and two manner of people that dwelleth in thy womb, right? So our spiritual wicked twin, right, which is where that story all goes back to. Whenever you see these movies with these wicked twin, it all goes back to the scriptures, man. This man ain't that creative, man. This man ain't that creative, right? Whenever you watch these films, it all goes back to the scriptures, right? That wicked evil twin you see in this movie, that's this man, right? And all of his descendants, whether a so-called Edom, well, I wouldn't say a so-called Edom, but when an Edomite sleeps with a so-called Israelite woman, the child is an Edomite. Whether it looks mixed race or whatever you want to fucking call it, right? The color is not about color, it's about the spirit. Right? But when you look back on it, when you look through the history, typically the so-called Negroes, or rather more the Israelites, were people of color, right? Like it says in Jerry 14. I think it's 4:17, or rather about that verse basically says 14 and 2. Jeremiah 14 and 2. It basically says, "Judah mourneth, they are black unto the ground." Right? What does that mean? Well, we know that the Most High was. We know that the Lord, when he came in the flesh, he was of the seed of the stock of Judah, right? That means to say the Lord was a black man, right? But like I said, it's not about color, it's about that spirit, right? So this man, when he came back, he's back in power, right? He was in power over when he was ruling Rome. Now, when you check the dates out, right? You check the dates out, it was about a period of 1,000 years where this man wasn't in power, right? That goes to fulfill the scriptures or the prophecies that the Most High set forth in Revelation. It says that beast, that beast is going to be bound for 1,000 years, right? But then he's going to come down with having great wrath. We know that he's going to come down having great wrath because he knows he has a short time, right? These people do read the scriptures. They do read the scriptures. Now, understanding the scriptures is a blessing that the Most High gave only to Israel, right? You can read these scriptures all you fucking want, but the Most High ain't dealing with you, which ain't dealing with none of these nations, right? You ain't gonna get these scriptures, right? And he goes on to say, right? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, right? And that was the Romans, and it's the Americans that, well, not the Americans, it's so-called white man that exalts himself as the eagle in this day and age, right? It says, and though thou set thy nest, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, right? There's only one group of people that have done that, set their nest amongst the stars. It says, thence will I bring thee down, says the Lord. If the thieves came to thee, so like if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Right? Would they have not stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they have not leave some grapes? Right? It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of his confederacies, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. And they that eat their bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in them. So that's basically going to show you, right, all of these treaties that this man makes with the different countries, so on and so forth, right, that ain't gonna come to pass, man. When the Most High puts hell on this bitch, when the Most High puts them there's some death angels loose, man. That, all of them, those are just pieces of paper to a man, right? Those are just pieces of paper to a man. You sign the signature, so on and so fucking forth, man. Right? Those are just pieces of paper, right? When when the Most High lets these prophecies really come to effect, right? Hey, whatever piece of paper you fucking sign, it don't matter. Look, listen, it's war. right? It's a time of war. So what's gonna happen? War's gonna come to play. War's gonna take place, right? That means that what the scripture is basically saying, all the people that were, that were with thee, talking about America, all the people that were with thee, they've deceived you, right? They would say, okay, cool. Like, you know how Jake be, you be talking, you like, okay, cool, but me don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? You just say, yeah, it's cool, it's fine, right? But at the end of the day, when the Most High puts the Spirit upon you to do what you have to do, what you have to do is gonna be done, man. Right, I don't mean to say that these nations are Israelites, because certain people might take that, take that and run with it. Right, and it says, "Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men of Edom and the understanding out of the mount of Esau?" Right, and it says, "The mighty men of Teman," which is like say in Edom, right, shall be dismayed to the end. And that every one of the mount of Esau, mount just meaning government, may be cut off by slaughter. Right? That says every man of Esau shall be every one of the mount of Esau. So when you translate, when you put the words in there and their meanings, right? It's every one of the government of Esau, or rather, everyone that's the Edomite, a descendant of Esau, shall be cut off by slaughter. So when the elders say that this man's going to be, after a period of time, he's going to be completely obliterated from history, right? That's all going back to the scriptures, man. Listen, man. This is a nation, man. When you have a group of people teaching another group, when you have leaders, right, teaching another, like, let's break it down in simple terms. When you're a teacher, right, you basically have to understand, read something, understand it, then redigest it, basically bring it forth back onto the next person, right? That means to say you're basically stable. You know exactly what you're talking about. So when the elders say certain things, man, listen, right? You people that be catching yourself barking up against the elders, man, you don't need to shut the fuck up, man. You just keep your mouth shut, right? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. And that doesn't mean to say me as a young brother, I know everything I'm talking about. I'm just learning. I'm a baby, like the scripture says. You're supposed to humble yourself as a child, and then let the Most High deal with you and bring you up, basically bring you up from when you're a kid. All the way up until you're like the elders that have put years into this thing, right? And like I was saying, you might need to take a seat, man. You might need to sit down and listen and learn, man. Because as some of the younger brothers, man, we try to be on point, right? But the only way you can be on point is by humbling yourself and studying, right? And that's what you certain man of you Israel, well, some of you ain't even gonna make it, but hey, with the Lord's Spirit's dealing with you, the Most High is gonna open your mind out, humble you, right? And you get down to this study and you honor these men, or Brother Moore, these the elders, you give them double honors, right? You honor the men that be out there pushing this truth week in and week out, day in and day out, man. Right? But it's all about humility. That's the root word of understanding. That's where you get understanding. For once you humble yourself, right? That's where you understand. How can you just pop up and know everything, right? How do certain man you just pop out and suddenly know everything, right? At the end of the day, some of you were brought up underneath the elders. Now you've been paid off. Now you think you make it out like you know it all, right? Most High is going to destroy you. See, like the scripture says, man, woe unto you that lead my people to the slaughter, man. Right? Especially some of you people that be saying that the mark of the beast is a so-called white woman. But listen, like our forefathers before us dealt with women of the other nations. How can all of a sudden the one group of people is now the chip? And really the microchip, which is the RFID chip, is a mark that's going to be inserted in your skin, in your right hand or in your forehead. Right? Check, when you check the etymology of the word, it literally means that. It literally means insert. Right? We carry on with Obadiah, and it says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee." Right? "And thou shalt be cut off forever." Right? Like I was saying, man, this group of people is gonna be cut off forever, man. You ain't gonna have to see him from the top of my head, after 1,000 years of slavery, we ain't gonna have to see this pasty, nasty ass piece of shit. Sorry to be vile, but it's the truth, man. You study the truth and you understand what kind of wickedness this man has done against his people. You don't want to see that pasty fuck up. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that, man. It makes your blood boil, man.